What's up, YouTube? Well, it's been a good 3 weeks since I've posted a video. I've had a ton of shit going on, so I haven't had an opportunity to do this. 2 weekends ago, I had to move to the new spot, which you can see in the background, which might be short-term anyway if I ended up getting this job. So also 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, I had a job interview for a position back up in Raleigh, North Carolina. Still waiting to hear back word on that, which I suspected I would have already gotten by now, but odds are I'll probably hear in the next day or so whether or not I got it. I got a good feeling about it, but if I do get it, that'll be huge because I'll finally get to move back home and be near my son. So anyway, I know there's a lot of you out there that's been throwing comments up wondering when I was going to come back with a video and tell you what's been going on, especially over the past 2 weeks since we've seen a bloodbath. And then today coming out with a pretty strong rally with Bitcoin with this bullish engulfing candle on the weekly. Here, I'll bring that up. So right here, we got this bullish engulfing candle right after a bearish engulfing candle. Hopefully we can close this with this engulfing candle. And honestly, looking at it on a daily chart, if we can get above the 22.5 and close a daily candle there, I mean, there is a very good chance we will see a return up to the 25.5 mark and potentially all the way back up to 29,000 after that. I suspect we will see something more along the lines of touching 22.5, potentially coming back down to the 21.5, $21,000 point before we go back up to try to break through. But there's a beautiful W pattern forming right here, and you know, most double bottoms show a W pattern as a result. So it's very possible that this 17.5 low period was our low for Bitcoin. So for all you bears out there right now, if you're sitting there in a short position waiting for it to go back down, you probably should start sweating, because if this continues higher and we break daily candle above 22.5, I think we'll be shooting up pretty quickly. Now, it'll honestly be better off if this is a slow climb and grind up to, you know, the $29,000 mark rather than a violent move up. Anytime there's a violent move up, we tend to see a very sharp sell-off after. So, you know, I prefer it move nice and slow, allow some of the uncertainty to build, and rather than this massive shoot up that we see a sell off. So that's kind of what's going on with Bitcoin. As for me, those of you that have been following from the beginning know that I'm in the process of this recovery period, and you're probably wondering what happened with the 30 grand IO on that credit card, and how did I finish up with my trading leading up to that. So right after Luna crashed, and I had taken about $7,500 and was trading that, you know, to try to get back some of those losses. There was a couple times I got up to about being up about 12 grand early on. That was off of trading Luna back when it had, you know, that violent move down to 10 thousandths of a penny, and then shot up by like 70 something X in 5 hours, and then slowly made really good moves from that point over the next week or two. So, you know, I traded it during that time period. I went up, down. My goal was to try to, you know, recover about 25 grand. So every time I got to that 12,000 mark, you know, I should have just stayed out of the market for a few days, but, you know, vengeful trading never gets you anywhere. But I was doing it anyway. So another lesson learned. But so I had lost that money a few times, gained it back a few times. And then ultimately when Luna cooled off It was delisted off of Coinbase. I stopped trading it. I moved on to other tokens, and at that point I was up about $8,000, probably also where I was at about the last video. So leading up to the end of June, when I had to make that payment, I kept trading. I made some wins here, some losses there. I did quite a few trades with Solana. I wanted to stay in something liquid that that was really easy for me to get in and out of. But ultimately, right towards the end of June, if you paid attention to it, we saw a pretty nasty sell off in the market. So my last handful of trades ended up being L's, to the point where I got down to only being up about $4,000. And I finally just pulled out and said, you know what, I'm just going to stick with what I got. I'm going to transfer the money back, make the payment, and move forward. So at the end of it, before I made the payment, which I did make, so I'm all good on that. I got a plan set up to pay back these balance transfers. Especially if I end up getting this job, I will probably get some sort of moving package, which I really won't utilize. I'll just move myself, and I'll probably use some of that money to pay down some of that debt. Which, by the way, all the negativity from the peanut gallery in there in my comment section, I'll just say that the odds of me going bankrupt or losing everything is very small to never going to happen. Just because, yes, I lost my cash life savings in a trade in Luna, in a disaster that affected the entire world and wiped out $300 billion across the cryptocurrency industry, doesn't mean that is the only assets I have. That was my cash life savings. Yes, it hurt really, really bad, but it doesn't mean that I don't have a 401k. I don't have real estate. I don't have, all this other shit that diversifies my money. So, to the peanut gallery, that's for you. I'm never going to go completely bankrupt, no matter what you guys think or say. But that being said, I was basically back down to being cash poor. So I had, transferred the money back that I needed to pay off that card, left me with about $4,000 of profit from trading, and another, I guess it was another like $5,000 of my own money that I had put in there from just, money I've made over the past couple weeks. So along with that, I decided to withdraw a small amount as a loan out of my 401k, because I think we're in one of the greatest opportunities we're ever going to see with cryptocurrency right now. Some might think I'm crazy. Some might think I'm a genius. But at the end of the day, to me, it's well worth the risk, especially when I can pay that money back to my 401k and have no consequence, and get to utilize that money today, which I believe will multiply in the coming 2 to 3 years. So I took out about $10,000 to add to it, giving me about $22,000 to trade with. And so with that, I am now up nearly $10,000 after this rally and some really good trades over the past 5 days. So some of the coins that I'm watching, by the way, a few of the big ones that I hit, which, some folks were wondering where I was coming up with jumping in these trades, but RBN, it took a nice rally up from 20 cents all the way up to 35. So I made some decent gains there. I made a really good trade on ALCX, which I was sitting in and waiting for that pop that did happen. I didn't get to take advantage of the whole pop. I think it went up to like $42, $45 at one point. But I was in around $20 and sold out majority between 26 and 28. And a handful of other trades. So the current current coins that I'm in right now, and that I've been trading and have made me a couple grand over the past couple days, is ERN, Eternity chain. Made a good move few times. I mean, I've hit trades on this one I've hit about 5 good trades over the past 24 to 36 hours since it made its move from 140 up to 180. I caught part of that first move, buying in at about $1.55 and selling out all the way from 165 all the way up to 180. And then I got filled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times since then, buying in around between $1.50 and $1.54 and selling out between 160 and 170. So I am back in that one again with about 6,300 bucks. But ERN, Eternity chain. I still have a big position in BNT that I'm holding, that I believe we will see a pop coming eventually when they start to burn some of those coins. It's down drastically, but it seems to have found a very solid bottom around 49.50 cents. So I'm comfortable leaving my trade open there. CLV, I'm in that for around 9 cents. Rally, RLY, I'm in that for just under 4 cents, which it's made a good move over the past day or so, ran up about 23%. I got filled on a few orders, bought back in lower. By the way, I always stagger my sells at key price points, as well as some price points that are lower and not a huge return, but lower my risk as they get filled and allow me to buy back in at a lower price, overall increasing the number of tokens that I have. So those are, oh, and I also have a small position in Crypterium, which I've traded quite a bit over the past several months. Low liquidity, moves violently when it does move, and is a very low market cap that has the opportunity to skyrocket if it sees some attention. So anyway, wanted to give you guys a quick update of where I was at. Ultimately made about $4 grand between the loss in May 12th in Luna before I had to make that payment. Made the payment, done with that. Kicked ass on my interview. I think I got a good shot of getting the job. Hopefully I'll find out in the next couple days, let you know how that turned out. Moved into my new spot. Good buddy of mine renting a room. Let me greatly reduce my expenses from that 1-bedroom apartment in Clearwater that was way overcharging for the rent there. Although I'll probably only be here for another couple weeks if I ended up getting this job, and if so, I'll be moving myself right back up to Raleigh, North Carolina. So there you go. There's the update of where I'm at. I have not gotten back in the gym yet. Honestly, I've just had way too much going on, rocky stuff with me and my girl. Frankly, I don't know, maybe not my girl anymore. We split up last night, so right when I'm moving back, I don't know. That's complicated. Women are complicated, which I think 92% of everybody that watches my videos are male anyway, so, you know, nothing against women. Love women. They keep us moving. Frankly, none of us would be working for money if women weren't here, right? Like, what do we do it for? We do it for women. So anyway, appreciate you guys' support. Wanted to make sure I got your update, or got you guys all an update. And so that's what's going on. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to get your mind right before you ever take a trade. Never trade more than you can afford to lose. And stay strong out there. No shirt gang. Thanks, everybody.